just feel like, and it's not a criticism of their pathway. They're going beautifully. I like what Richmond are doing. I really do. But why wouldn't you use the sub today? Give me a logical reason why you wouldn't bring the sub on with 15 minutes to go.
Well, there isn't one. It's a fresh player there in a game that's drawing out, and you speak with a lot of uncontested marks. That's a lot of running that you've got to do. Steely Green comes on. He's been a proven goal kicker this year. That maybe it is the one goal that they needed to come away with another win, and their 7th for the season when many people tipped them not to win a game.
Is there any chance you're saying they're trying to deliberately lose this game? Are you getting at that or not?
I'm not saying deliberately lose. That's a fraction strong, but maybe it's not everything to win.
Their ladder position doesn't change if they win today, so that's one thing. But so I just think this was a great chance to teach a lesson to a young kid to do a job in the last 30 minutes of the game and come away as a part of being a match winner.
He's the hottest player in the competition, basically, at the moment.
Big question you pose, but none bigger than the questions posed in Jay's Q&A.
That's what we've all been waiting for.
You say that every week.
Hanging out for, that's right. So Dylan Shiel,
Later and later.
The Essendon midfielder is off to the tribunal. So the match review have sent him off to the tribunal ungraded for this very unusual incident. He pushes Geelong Cats Mark O'Connor into a marking contest. Let's have a look at it here, and it's Luamon Lual who comes down, landing on his head and neck, and also injures his back in the process. Now, we haven't really seen this before. The AFL hate that look. So he's looking at a one-match suspension. That's the recommendation for the AFL, the tribunal on Tuesday night. Is it the right call, fellas?
No, I think it's the right call to go to tribunal and test it. I think this is the thing that Greg Swan has to look at. At the moment, the outcome is where things are more focused. It's the action that needs to be looked at and be the priority with any sort of reportable offence. And the action here is a completely dangerous one, whether that's to Mark O'Connor or whether that's to the teammate of Dylan Shiel. Like that there is, you can see the forceful push. Ryan Mansell got 3 weeks. Granted, his opponent got injured and not his own player, but it's so dangerous to push someone off balance.
So you think a week's good?
I think a week is maybe 2. Like, it's a pretty forceful push. Like, the amount of damage that can come from something like that. Mansell got 3, so has it been set at 3?
What do you think?
I think it's a report and it's a suspension every day of the week. This is incredibly dangerous, and I don't care who's getting injured. You cannot guarantee when you push that player into the pack like that, you have no idea how that's going to finish. Someone is likely to get seriously hurt. And this is one thing we can stamp out in a heartbeat if we're consistent and we're diligent in terms of sticking to the task on this. Too many times we let one off along the journey and we get lost. Are we stamping it out, aren't we? 2 weeks from me, absolutely spot on. If it's 1, I think we'd maybe agree or be comfortable with. But for me, we've got to eradicate this. 2, and you won't see it again.
And the rules state that you have a duty of care to all players, not just opponents, all players.
So does that
That's
then,
interesting,
if it is to all players, if that was a Geelong player that came down and landed on their head, that would be a clear-cut Ryan Mansell case for 3 weeks. So
yeah, but no, he wasn't. Liam O'Connor was concussed in that situation where the impact with Lual wasn't as severe. He goes off with a sore back, and it's to his body more so, the injury, rather than his head.
Landed on his head.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's incredibly dangerous. You guys are right. So, and the injury curse at Essendon clearly continues with inspirational captain Zach Merritt fracturing a hand. Could have some surgery. That'll be decided tomorrow. Was set to be his 250th game against St Kilda on Friday night. This is the incident here. Quite gutsy of him to continue to play, let's be honest. So could be missing Shiel and likely to be missing Merritt on Friday night. The injury toll grows. What's this midfield going to look like for the Bombers?
Tackling. See, tackling is no good for you. No good for you. I mean, you run too big a risk, Jay.
kick a goal from this.
When you're having this sort of run, this is exactly what happens, isn't it? I feel for the Essendon Footy Club, the fans, they're going through a tough run, but yeah, he's no problem. It's not going to change his decision at season's end. He loves the place. He'll roll on.
Gresham and Kako have been the two who've had some exposure and, you know, trying to grow there clearly, but massive losses. So he'll play his 250th against Carlton the following week. Last game of the season, right? So Geelong Lual, the former Sydney Swans premiership coach, put a line through himself in terms of the Melbourne coaching vacancy. Not interested, not ready to jump back into the coaching, senior coaching job at this stage. Puts Nathan Buckley firmly in the square for Melbourne, unless they go for an untried and assistant coach. Do you feel like Bucks is the right man for Melbourne?
That's a very good
You
question.
sit with him on the couch, obviously.
I'm looking forward to chatting to him about it on the couch and actually
Are you
picking
thinking
through.
about Tassie Devils at the moment?
No, I'm thinking that as much as I think Melbourne would have questions for Bucks, I reckon Bucks, knowing him well, would have questions for Melbourne to understand what the bigger picture is for them going forward. I think Nathan has a great football IQ and would be a great coach, as he was a great coach at
But
Collingwood.
you want him for Tassie?
No, I
What are
know.
you saying, Jack? Will he coach Melbourne or not?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea what he's going to do.
Would he be a good fit, Kingy? Or do you think are they better off going
I think
with
he'd be a great fit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that are going to happen at Melbourne, and the coaching is one part of it come season's end. So you've got to have the forethought and the knowledge. If you're going to go into that role, what's happening with all the other pieces that have been floated this year and last year as well?
Do they need a ready-made, Kingy, or an untried, or the best untried? What avenue would you go there?
They need to listen to outside voices for a little while. Brad Green's already said, I think he's made an error already by saying
Playing
this
finals.
is a finals list.
Yep.
We're going back to the finals. Well, if Nathan Buckley says, well, it might be, but it's not a premiership list. And I want to start to purge some players and do this, this and this. Are they still in unison then? So there's a lot of water to go under the bridge. Which coach is the one that agrees with Melbourne and puts them in harmony? That might not be the perfect person for the job. It just might be the perfect alignment. So that for me is the challenge. Are they a premiership list? Can you still get a premiership out of the core that's there at the moment?
No.
So
They're in transition.
So what are you asking Nathan Buckley, if he is to take the job, what are you asking him to do?
When he did transition Collingwood from a list, exited some big names, that could happen at Melbourne as well. He did do the bridge from Moldhouse to 2018 Grand Final. So from that perspective, you think he has great experience.
Sometimes clubs don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear the reality or the tough news that this has got to change. We've got to turn over Oliver. We've got to turn over Petrarca if we are to have a chance in 3, 4, 5 years. So challenges there. They have to be in alignment with what they're talking or the direction before they start, or it's a disaster. Can't just pick the biggest name.
So you're saying stop talking, appoint the coach, and then figure out your messaging?
No, I think interview 3, 4, 5 people. Don't go in, don't make any rash decisions. Don't commit to anyone. I'd be talking to Hayden Skipworth, Daniel Pratt, Adam Simpson.
Yeah.
I'd be talking to them all.
I'm talking the comments about Brad Green's comments about being just
crazy.
Stop for now, appoint your coach, and then
Well, don't even
the
just
messaging.
find out what they think about your list, what they think about the club, and get a guide. Canvass the thoughts of 5 or 6 people who will invest, almost do an audit for you,
Exactly.
free of charge.
Yeah, the
On
process is
way in.
important. The process to go through and actually find out, because internally they look at things with rose-coloured glasses sometimes. Maybe it is a chance to get some outside knowledge on where you do really sit.
But you've got to be aligned, because as soon as you bring someone in, so Simon Goodwin, in my eyes, said we have to go back to go forward. They agreed with that at the time and sacked him probably 12 weeks later. So I think they've got to get their own issues right first and stay out of that stuff. If we hear one person at Melbourne say we want an experienced coach or we want a freshie, then you're in trouble straight away.
They might be in for a shock then on some of the feedback they might get. If they go through that process with all these coaches, they might be in for a bit of a
They might
surprise.
get honesty.
it's a very interesting story. One broken by our man,
Oh, yeah.
Jay Clark. So good work during the week.